Taylor Lorenz doing an expose on a dark money group who is funding high profile Democratic influencers. So, from what I understand, it's people like Brian Tyler Cohen, David Pakman, I believe also Olivia Juliana. I don't know if Efren also falls in this category. I don't think Micah, not Mika. Micah? I don't know how to pronounce that dude's fucking name. Also falls in that particular category. But a lot of the people, and you got the sense of this, the dudes who were like super fucking pro Biden during Micah, thank you, Boy Meets Mini, who were like super pro Biden and went to that what is it, that fucking dinner that he had at the White House, all those like liberal fucking influencers. Who wants to make a bet that they were getting paid by this fucking dark money group? I'm just gonna throw that out there because I feel like that's the sort of suspicion. They were being very positive for the Democrats, even though, well, they were a glazing an old dipshit who just wanted to stay into the race because of his own fucking ego. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line of basically, guys, we're going to do nothing and still support the genocide of Israel. If we're talking about this in the frame of 2024. So that's cool. Great, fantastic. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions on their content. Oh, so they also have to tailor make their content? Oh, so it's purely like you can't fucking criticize the Democrats whatsoever. Can't criticize them, you can't talk shit. You can't have any problems with anything they're doing. It has to be just glaze. Also, by the way, you have to keep it a secret. I'm pretty sure that there is a reason why the FTC will take down your channel if you're doing, say, a sponsored segment on anything, and it doesn't matter what the fucking sponsor is, that you do a sponsorship for a particular company or a group or whatever, why you have to put the hashtag ad. That's a regulation. If you don't do that, not only will the company be fined, but also you yourself could potentially face consequences for that if you don't put the hashtag ad. Interesting. In a private group chat in June, dozens of Democratic political influencers discussed whether to take advantage of an enticing opportunity. They were being offered $8,000 a month to take part in a secretive program aimed at bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet. But the contract sent to them from Chorus, a nonprofit arm of a liberal influencer marketing platform, came with some strings. Among other issues, it mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payments and had restrictions on what sort of physical content the creators could produce. It's really funny how people like, specifically David Pakman, and we're gonna get to David Pakman's response to this, is talking about fucking transparency, but he's also has allegedly taken money from Chorus, and he's not allowed to fucking disclose any of this particular sort of dark money that he got. Hey, David, if you want to talk about free, independent fucking media, I agree with that particular message and positioning. But you're taking money from this dark money group, dude, and they are forcing you to have to toe the fucking party line for the fucking Democrats. That's a little fucking interesting. I thought we were for fucking free, independent media on the internet space. What happened? That's a little suspicious. In their group chat, influencers debated the detail. Should we send a joint email, all of our email addresses, or are we going to send things separately and hope that they change for everyone? Lorenzo, a non-binary creator in Columbus with over 884,000 TikTok followers, asked the group. Some joked about collective bargaining. Any Newsy fans here? Eliza Orland's a public defender and reality TV star known for appearances on Survivor, posted in the group, we're a union just by saying so. Sure, whatever. The influencers in the chat collectively had at least 13 million followers across social platforms. Damn, that's a lot of fucking people, dude. Like, 13 million followers. Woof! Wonder why they may be thinking about how enticing this deal is. Interesting. They represented some of the most well-known voices online posting in support of Democrats. and they're key to wherever the party moves next. But ultimately, the group didn't make much progress. Yeah, I wonder why. It's almost as if like the Democratic state apparatus doesn't really give much of a fuck at all about what their constituents think and believe in. Very, very cool. And are just mostly trying to rely on the fact that, well, the other guys are really, really bad, so you should vote for us. Yay! And it's just like, dog, that can only work for so fucking long, man. Like, come on, bro. Reading through this revised course contract, like, you win some, you lose some. A reproductive justice influencer named Perry, who posts under the handle Women in America, responded later in the thread. I also think there's at least 4 other things that should change. But the vibe I got from their email was would all be minimal, if any, changes. Lorenz and Perry did not reply to requests for comment. I don't feel strongly about pushing TBH. Aaron Parnas, a Gen Z news influencer who has been called the Gen Z Walter Cronkite, has been lauded in legacy media outlets. I feel like I have seen this person pop up before. This name is familiar to me, Aaron Parnas. Yeah, it's familiar to me. They aren't going to modify it anymore. It seems like a take it or leave it. He declined to comment. I believe we're in stage 5 acceptance, Party said. Creators began signing onto the deal. For years, Democrats have struggled to work with influencers. 2024, President Joe Biden's White House snubbed several prominent content creators after they lightly criticized the administration over its policies on climate change, COVID, and the TikTok ban, and Gaza. Content creators who challenged Kamala Harris, including Hassan Piker, Hasten Pecker, what the... a well-known influencer on the left, were similarly unwelcomed at campaign events. Yeah, because remember, Hassan was at the DNC and he got kicked out of the fucking DNC for talking about the DNC not allowing Ruha Rahman on in order to do her fucking speech, her very short speech talking about, like, hey guys, maybe we should do something about Palestine, like, maybe it would be a good thing to talk about this issue. And he got lost, not lost in the sauce, but kicked out. And again, like, Democrats have never given a fuck about what their influencers think, because again, this party is purely driven by overpaid consultant dipshits who seemingly still think that they're stuck in the fucking 80s and 90s, and that's like the only way that politics fucking works. So as expected, whoa, it's just like complete utter fucking dog shit, mealy-mouthed corporate bullshit from the Democratic Party, and people wonder why, like, the Democrats seemingly do stand for fucking nothing. Complete nonsense. After the Democrats lost in November, they faced a reckoning. It was clear that the party had failed to successfully navigate the new media landscape, while Republicans spent decades building a powerful and robust independent media infrastructure, maximizing controversy to drive attention and maintaining tight relationships with creators despite their small disagreements with Trump. But the Democrats have largely relied on outdated strategies in traditional media to get their message out. Yep, exactly. Democrats hope that secretive Chorus Creator Incubator Program. Bro, the fuck kind of a name is this? Very, very fucking weird, bro. Chorus Creator Incubator Program. Interesting. Funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund, might tip the scales. Program kicked off last month. The creators involved were told by Chorus that over 90 influencers were to take part. Creators told Wired that the contract stipulated they'd be kicked out or essentially cut off financially if they even so much as acknowledged that they were a part of the program. Again, very interesting that they can't fucking acknowledge that they're a part of this fucking program. Again, there is a reason why content creators are very often supposed to stipulate the fact that they are doing an ad, because again, they may say particular things and believe in particular things if it feels like that they're trying to push a fucking agenda, and people will fucking, especially more so on the left, are going to be able to fucking sniff shit out like that. Be like, seems like you're pushing a particular line. Why are you saying this in particular? And they're going to think more critically, unlike the fucking conservatives who are all complete utter dipshits. Which is why stuff like this is more successful for them, because conservatives are wholeheartedly incapable of critical thought, and will just go along with like whatever idiotic talking points that their leaders are going to say, because they are not capable of critically thinking for themselves, because they're cultists. They are drones inherently. Not so much people on the left and even liberals. Listen, I have no problem with content creators supporting Democrats. It's part of their campaigning strategy. What I do have a problem with is controlling narrative through a hierarchy, taking away independence from creators. Exactly. Which is what Chorus is specifically doing by saying, like, yeah, you can't acknowledge anything that you're pushing. You can't say that you're taking money from us, which is just like, that's a little interesting. Some creators also raise concerns about a slew of restrictive clauses in the contract. Influencers included in communication about the program, and in some areas, an onboarding session for those receiving payments from the 1630 fund, including, well, Olivia Juliana, the centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the 2024 DNC. Lauren Pareda, a former Playboy executive turned political influencer who hosts a podcast for Occupy Democrats. Barrett Edhar, content creator who runs an American Girl doll themed pro-DNC meme account. Suzanne Lambert, who called herself a Regina George liberal. Ariel Fodder, and okay, this is all the other fucking motherfuckers here. According to copies of the contract reviewed by Wired that creators signed, the influencers are not allowed to disclose the relationship with Chorus or the 1630 fund, or functionally that they're being paid at all. Again, wonder why they're doing this. Because they're being told to push a particular party line. It is about hierarchy and control. That's why. Dozens of liberal influencers are believed to have been approached by Chorus about the 1630 fund financing opportunity this spring. They were told that Chorus appreciated the work that they were doing online and asked if they'd be interested in being a part of the first cohort of a new program that Chorus is running to help expand their reach and impact, creators told Wire. And this is from some of the content creators themselves who decided to comment on this stuff. Following initial outreach, many creators expressed concerns about some of the stipulations. According to the copies, creators in the program must funnel all bookings with lawmakers and political leaders through Chorus. Interesting. So they have to make sure that Chorus is being looped into that stuff, to make sure that they don't be too critical about the fucking Democrats. Very interesting. Also have to loop in Chorus on any independently organized engagements with government officials or political leaders. Again, you have to ask yourself, why is Chorus making these particular stipulations? If it is about independent media and content creation, why does this company have to be looped into any of these engagements of government officials or political leaders? Almost as if it's about pushing a particular line, as Taylor is arguing here. If you want to work with another politician, have to fully collaborate with them, said one creator who's offered the contract but ultimately declined to take it and asked not to be named. If I had Zor on and he wants to do an interview with me, I don't want to give that to them. That's totally fair. Damn, even amongst some of these, I don't know, like liberals, I suppose, even that they were just like, yeah, I don't know about this. A little sussy. Don't like these particular stipulations. Prefer to keep my fucking independence. Also not allowed to use any funds or resources they receive as part of a program to make content that supports or opposes any political candidate or campaign without authorization from Chorus in advance in writing. Again, you have to think about why Chorus in particular wants to have these particular sets of controls, these levers of fucking control. Yeah, this is a little fucking weird. Again, it's all about fostering independent thought in media, but they're going to stipulate that, yeah, but, you know, if you have any engagements with anyone in office, you have to go through us about that. Very cool. Contracts reviewed by Wired prohibit standard partnership disclosures, declaring that creators will not publicize their relationship with Chorus or tell others that they're members of the program without Chorus's prior express consent, which is acquired from a screenshot. Really, from a slideshow shared with Wire following this article's publication by Graham Wilson. Very, very fucking cool. Also forbade creators from disclosing the identity of any funder. I wonder why. Again, why are they not allowed to disclose this? If you're doing a sponsorship, if you're getting money from someone as a sponsor, you're supposed to fucking disclose that stuff by fucking law. But Chorus wants to make it so that you can't do that. This is illegal. That what Chorus is doing. Insane. Give Chorus the ability to force creators or remove or correct content based solely on the organization's discretion if that content was made at a Chorus organized event. Some advantages to housing this program in a not-for-profit. Wilson said to creators on a Zoom call reviewed by Wired, gives us the ability to raise money from donors. Also, with this structure, it avoids a lot of public disclosure, public disclaimers, paid for by blah, 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 blah. You're supposed to still you have to disclose that. Why? Like, again, this is some fucking dark money sussy shit, bro. That's fucking crazy. Federal Election Commission declined to comment. Really, reports filed. Your names aren't showing up like reports filed with the FEC. That's fucking crazy, dude. Goal, of course, according to a fundraising deck obtained by Wire, is to build new infrastructure and fund independent progressive voices. Independent progressive voices. Yet you fucking have to give stipulations on literally everything that they do through chorus-based events and how they're supposed to engage with people. Doesn't seem very independent to me. The creators who join the incubator are expected to attend regular advocacy trainings and daily messaging check-ins. Bro, why the fuck is this shit being fucking corporatized, man? It's so fucking stupid. These messaging check-ins are led by Cohen, which I believe is Brian Tyler Cohen. And we're gonna get to Brian Tyler Cohen and his response to this soon enough. The creators also must attend at least 2 Chorus newsroom events per month, which are events Chorus plans often with lawmakers. Elizabeth Dubois, an assistant professor and university research chair in politics, communication, and technology at the University of Ottawa. What the Ottawa? That's crazy. Who has researched the ways influencers are reshaping the U.S. political system, says they are seeing influencers are being pulled into the dark campaigns or shadow campaigns where the legal aspect is murky at best. I wonder why. Sometimes it's actually clear that influencers are being used, for example, evading spending limits. I think that we are in the need to remember that for democracy to thrive, we need to have transparency around who's paying for political messages. Yeah, looking at you fucking conservative content creators. Again, like, this is the main problem that I have with this, obviously, in particular, is simply due to the fact that these are fundamentally the exact same things that conservatives do. We know that Charlie Kirk gets paid by different conservative money groups and fracking fucking billionaires. That's just a random example. Same with the fucking Daily Wire. The Daily Wire received a huge portion of its fucking funding through conservative, political consultancy groups and other dark money sources, like from fucking fracking billionaires, in order to be able to push a particular party line. Nonsense. Then there's Don Hyder, the chief executive of Marcella Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University, says the outdated line restrictions violate ethical norms. Very, very cool. Keith Edwards, a Democratic content creator who has skyrocketed to fame on YouTube, since starting his channel last year, was not invited to be a part of the program, but believes that the way it was structured seemed predatory. Yeah, I don't think I really disagree with that. It does seem a little predatory. Interesting. Would never agree to be a part of that. Very, very cool. What I don't understand is, why wouldn't you just donate to creators directly who have already built something and just need to put gasoline on the fire, says Edwards. That seems like a good point to me. Democrats at least understand that the internet exists now, so that's good. But they still think influencers are just there to do terrible direct-to-camera interview that no one watches, rather than just treating us like another form of media. Well, it's because, again, what was his name? Keith Edwards. The main problem is that the Democratic Party is purely driven by a consultant class, right? They only do things that the consultants that they pay for, millions of dollars to, of course, advise them to do particular things. Why do you think, like, a bunch of Democratic lawmakers are doing all these random podcast interviews? Because their consultants are saying, like, the Republicans are also doing these interviews, so you do these. Like, that's why I got, like, fucking Richie Torres on the Adam Friedland show, for fuck's sake, and Elisa Slotkin on Breaking Points, which is just very, very weird, because they probably didn't look into further, or maybe they had staffers that are on the left willing to sabotage that stuff, okay? You know, they do a little fucking Pepe posting. Do a little bit of trolling, of course. But you had these, like, main stay like mainstream Democratic politicians going on these lefty sort of shows and whatnot. At Breaking Point's not very lefty, but you know what I mean. Independent media shows where they just get completely fucking owned and made to look like either sociopaths or completely out of fucking touch elitists, making them look really, really fucking bad. So, you know, to be fucking expected. That these people just have no idea about any of these spaces that they're getting in and why they're popular to begin with. It's because of the independence from stuff like the Democratic Party and the broader political establishment. Influences offered the funding were given just days to sign the contract, which was essentially presented on a take it or leave it basis. At least one cohort was specifically told they could not have their lawyers redline it. Oh, so they couldn't have a lawyer look over it as well. That's extremely fucking suspicious. Yeah, like, if you're getting told by these representatives at Chorus that you can't have a fucking lawyer take a look at it, that's a fucking that is a red fucking flag, and you should bug the fuck out. Do not take any of that fucking shit. Do not sign for that contract, because again, that seems pretty fucking predatory. In the group chat formed to discuss contract negotiations, some creators discussed a clause prohibiting the disparagement of other creators, not being able to criticize anyone else affiliated with Chorus. Felt restrictive to some, according to text messages posted in the chat. Eventually, the creators in the group chat agreed to drop the issues they had. I don't think Chorus is out to screw us. Orleans, a creator who was offered $8,000 a month, said in a group chat some influences for Chorus Creator Incubator Program were offered as little as $250 per month. Yeah, dude, fucking $250 a month. Very, very cool. According to one creator who declined to accept the deal. Well, based of them. If you're getting only $250 a month to just have this incredibly restrictive contract and seemingly predatory contract in order to push the Democratic Party line, I think it makes perfect sense to decline that shit. 1630 Fund has emerged as a powerful funder in democratic spaces in recent years. Its website notes that issues supported by the organization include economic equity, affordable healthcare, climate solutions, racial justice, voter access, and other essential social change goals. The organization was founded in 2009 as a liberal response to conservative dark money groups and organizations like the Koch network. Guys, if we just organize our own fucking dark money groups and try to influence people to push particular party lines, that's going to do a great job in ingratiating the American people to our side. Complete fucking nonsense. 2018 1630 Fund provided $141 million to more than 100 left-leaning causes in order to bolster Democratic support during the midterms, according to tax filing obtained by Politico. 2020, the fund distributed more than $400 million, according to the organization's public tax filing, where Politico said was used in efforts to unseat then-President Trump's and Republican Senate majority. In 2022, the 1630 Fund spent $196 million backing state ballot measures on abortion rights heading into the midterms. Very interesting that they never really back anything when it comes to economics, even though they say that they're for economic equality. It's all fucking social issues, because again, like, when it comes to these people like this, if we actually talk about economic justice, that might cause some fucking problems with our fucking gravy train. So let's not fund that stuff as much. 4 donors accounted for close to 2/3 of the fund's revenue in 2023. 4 donors. 4 people, man. Fucking wild. Largest donor gave the group $50.5 million, while others donating $31.4, $21.8, and $13.6. 1630 Fund, which is not required to disclose its contributors, because again, dark money group, very legally murky, dubious at best. S3 has been a major funding source for liberal and progressive causes and groups, I'm sure, says Walker Davis, a research director in the open government group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. Though their recent tax returns indicate that they have pulled back from the eye-popping sums they raised and spent in 2020, the organization is still one of the top-spending politically oriented nonprofits in the country. Chorus, which is described in contracts reviewed by Wire as a project of the 1630 Fund, handles operations of for the Creator Program, launched in November 2024, with ties to Good Influence, a for-profit influencer marketing agency aimed at helping content creators connect with social good campaigns. Good Influence was founded in October 2020 by Stuart Perlmutter, the former communications director for Representative John Yarmouth of Kentucky. Oh boy, more fucking organizations and stuff like this. Very, very cool. Perlmutter co-founded Chorus with Democratic influencer Brian Tyler Cohen, who has over 4.6 million subscribers on YouTube and leads messaging check-ins for the creator cohort on rapid response days. Well, there's the name drop. Brian Tyler Cohen is a, crazy, co-founder of this stuff. Interesting. Chorus claims that its initial creator cohort has a collective audience of more than 40 million followers with 100 million weekly viewers. The organization has hundreds of creators signed up, ready to amplify. Cool, great. I've spent most of my career researching right-wing media, sounding the alarms about the collapse of our old information environment. Ellie Langford, the director of programming at Chorus, said on a Zoom call with the dozens of creators in June, political citizens have been able to figure out a real solution. Well, it's social media. That's the main thing. Already creators in the Crow program are creating content together in the new weekly series called Good News in Politics. What the fuck is this, bro?
Good news from the week from me and a couple of friends.
Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper officially announced that he's running for Senate in 2026. This is a man who has never lost an election since he entered politics in 1986. Let's go.
United Health is...
Really? Okay, bro. Dude. Like, alright, man. This almost sounds as bad as V Shoujo, I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, nah. V Shoujo was worse than this. This is just pathetic, I'll be quite honest, right? Like, this is like some of the main fucking shit you got going on here? Okay, bro.
Facing criminal and civil investigations for their Medicare billing practices.
Homicide rates are hitting record lows in major U.S. cities.
A man who admitted to being a fascist during a debate with Mehdi Hassan was fired from his job.
We're just reading headlines, bro? Are we... man. You know how people say it's peak? Guys, it's looking bleak. They're just reading headlines. Where's the analysis? Like, nothing. There's, like, nothing going on here. This is reading headlines? That's it? Okay, bro. Nice fucking meme. While some creators have been eager to work with Chorus, others distrust the organization. This spring, Chorus Wave faced a wave of backlash from prominent content creators. Like who? Inside the Democrats struggle to win over content creators. This is a complete shit. All right. Epic embed failure. Laugh at this user. Very cool. Who the fuck else? Who did the what is it? The content the backlash. Whose images were included in the firm's fundraising decks without permission. I was including some of the Chorus's decks, like we have access to V when you do not. Said V Sfahar, whatever. A liberal content creator with over 3.5 million followers on TikTok. Very cool. Following the publication of this article, Wilson said there's no record of V being included in any Chorus materials. Oh, I'm sure. Face of well-known influencers were featured prominently on the Chorus website beneath a giant donate button. I wonder why they're doing that. Trying to prompt people to fucking donate to their, clear dark money group. Fucking nice meme, dude. Users who clicked on the button were taken to a fundraising page for Chorus instead of anywhere their dollars would go directly to creators featured. Very, very cool. Progressive YouTuber and former Media Matters staffer Kat Abou-Gazela, who's running for Congress in Illinois, was pictured on Chorus's website. Wait, they also took fucking Kat Abou-Gazela. Why would they do that? Bro, that's crazy. She asked that her name and image be removed and is no longer used for fundraising purposes. So, what? There's this Sfahar? I don't know how to fucking say this name. And also, Kat Abou-Gazela was thrown in there as well. Why would they do that, bro? They just threw their faces on it? I don't know. Maybe they did that because Kat's got like a nice face or some shit. I don't know. It's a nice meme, bro. Other content creators have accused Chorus of attempting to establish themselves as a gatekeeper to democratic political leaders. I don't think that's inaccurate to say. What we need is for people to invest in independent media, and that doesn't necessarily mean investing in a consulting group that is going to be a middleman for independent media. I'm sorry to say, Svehar? I don't know how to say the fucking name, dude. This is the Democratic Party that we're talking about. They love consultant middlemen. That's like their favorite fucking shit on the planet. Of course, there's going to be some consultant bullshit in the way that's going to try to implement all these fucking levers and people that have to like bullshit that people have to follow. Complete utter fucking nonsense. Yeah, this is the exact same fucking shit as the Republicans do. It's complete nonsense. Several influencers who doggedly defended Chorus through that controversy, including Elizabeth Brooker Houston, Democratic comedian, content creator on Instagram, and Ali O'Brien, a progressive creator with more than 600,000 followers on TikTok, were involved in membership talks for the highest paid tier on Chorus's new creator incubator program. They did not respond for comment. Hey, what's up, Sock? Now, how are you doing, buddy? Still, some content and some creators heard about the 1630 Fund and Chorus funding initiative and applied to join. One creator named Chesko, who goes by at the Speech Prof online, applied to join the program because he viewed it as an opportunity to get access to people that have funding or backing in actual research that I could use, he says. I mean, I'm sorry to say, Chesko, but you're being taken for a ride, my dude. This is, like, just simply not meant for any of that whatsoever. They just want to fucking push a particular line. Like, that's the point of any of this stuff. Yeah, sure, they may be able to give research. They may be able to give money and stuff like that. If you're willing to sell your soul. Very, very cool. Wasn't accepted and received an email on June 26th rejecting his applications. We're planning to bring creators into the incubator program in the near future, Chorus wrote. The structure of the program highlights the vast differences between how Democrats and Republicans attempt to amass influence online. Very interested to see what this is, because again, Republicans buy influence because, well, a lot of Republicans and conservatives, generally speaking, don't give a fuck so long as they are fed their fucking sloppy toppy, right? Well, I've said this before. Conservatives are wholeheartedly incapable of basic fucking critical thought, whereas with more left-leaning and liberal people, they still have their critical thinking faculties. They are able to suss out and be like more likely to suss out. There's always the fucking blue MAGA types. They definitely fucking exist. But it's just like, I don't know. Why are you pushing a particular fucking line? Like, we just saw one of the fucking videos in here in particular. It's just like 6 fucking dipshits, like, just reading a fucking headline for an article. Or for different fucking articles. Like, seriously, dude? And it's fucking wild, dude. Republicans have spent decades building a powerful independent media ecosystem. The right-wing influencer world is far from transparent. Though the right-wing influencer world is far from transparent. In September 2024, a federal indictment alleged that the Russian state-sponsored network RT was covertly providing millions to funding tenant media, which ended up being fucking true. Very, very cool. Like Lauren Southern, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, you know? Dave Rubin wanted to make sure the dude was not too fucking woke when he fucking accepted the money. So goofy. The National Republican Congressional Committee spent nearly $500,000 on work with Creator Grid, an influencer marketing campaign whose website says connects Republican candidates with the internet's most powerful conservative influencers. I'm sure. Again, all dark money fucking bullshit groups that these liberals want to fucking imitate for some fucking reason. Stephen Buckley, a digital media sociologist at City St. George's University of London, says that these sorts of programs have been happening in the right wing for ages. Hyder said that the structure of the 1630 Fund raises the question, is it ethical to match the tactics of your opponents? Well, that's a pretty good question. Personally, I would argue, I don't fucking think so. Again, you're trying to influence people to peddle certain information that is just simply put, like, dog, like you're not gonna, like, this shit's not gonna fucking go anywhere, right? There's a reason why people are just not down with the fucking Democratic Party in particular should be fairly fucking obvious. It's because they don't believe in anything, right? And they just want to have the exact same billionaire fucking influences as the Republican Party. That's like the main problem that people are having, because they feel like the Democrats are out of touch fucking elitists. That's why. Democrats appear to have no real counter to the system. Democrats miss the next generation of media, says Brandon Gahan, co-founder of influencer marketing agency Creator Authority. Historically, they owned Hollywood, but this next generation of influence is digital, and they've miscalculated that. Yeah, 1000%. Well, it's because they just rely on fucking consultants whose brains are all stuck in the 80s and 90s. Like, that's why. Like, that's so stupid, though. Well, anyway, we're gonna get into what one of the main co-founders has said about this, and that is Brian Tyler Cohen, who's already been fucking name dropped. What do we have here with one of the co-founders of fucking Chorus? I'm curious.
At the risk of giving an internet troll more attention, I want to address a piece that Taylor Lorenz wrote.
Internet troll Taylor Lorenz? She has consistently said that this has been corroborated by Wired, right? Taylor Lorenz is an independent journalist. She will post articles on particular sites and whatnot, and she has consistently said that this is, all reviewed by Wired. Is it really fucking trolling? Or are you just mad that you got fucking exposed, bro?
Yesterday for Wired. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions on their content. Literally nothing in this statement is true. The article is about Chorus, which is a nonprofit that I helped found to build up a creator ecosystem, which everybody says they want, but few are doing.
Time out immediately. Wait, but a bunch of creators on that disagree with what you're saying. They felt like there was predatory stipulations, and also that they did not like some of the restrictions. It's a little sus, a little sussy, a little weird, a little sus.
So here's what Chorus is. It is a scholarship program to teach creators how to grow their accounts, foster engagement, launch their own shows, and become profitable on their own. It's an incubator program to build the pro-democracy ecosystem. Influencers and creators have never been more important when it comes to how Americans are consuming their news. The right has been doing this for years, and the left needs to catch up. That's why we're doing this with Chorus. So let's talk.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't disagree with that the left needs to catch up, but doing this, again, we're talking about the Democrats here because we're towing the Democratic Party line. Calling them the left already has some inherent issues. The Democratic Party is not a left-leaning party. It is a right-leaning party, right? First and foremost. They're not progressive. They are center-right. Like, they are conservatives. This is the inherent problem, and I really want to talk about this. Talk about how modern-day fucking liberals, neoliberals to be specific, are not actual fucking liberals. They just do not inherently agree with the principle and bases of fucking liberalism, which comes from the Enlightenment values. That's where it fucking comes from, right? They don't fucking agree with any of this stuff, which is why it's so strange in particular. It's just like, dog? Like, why are you saying that you need to create a fucking program in particular to have, like, shit like this? This is the exact same shit the Republican Party does, and you want to have, like, certain lines that are being towed. It's complete fucking nonsense. Like I said before, prominent example, Charlie Kirk. Exact same shit here.
Talk about what Chorus is and what it's not. Chorus does not pay creators for content, does not tell them what to say, does not control who they talk to or work with, and there is absolutely nothing in the contract that could even be reasonably interpreted to say that we do. Period. Full stop.
But the Wired article says that when spoken to some of the content creators who declined to take the contract, they disagree with that. We already are facing an impasse here. There's a contradiction, right? Saying that this is not the case. So far, I'm sensing here from Brian Tyler Cohen in particular from BTC, we're trying to do a little bit of a PR spin here.
I don't know a single creator who would willfully sign up for a program that would tell them what they can or can't say. That's not what this program is. We pay people to show up to workshops and technical trainings to optimize their content online. For example, we've got trainings on how to package content for YouTube, trainings on how to optimize audience retention for Instagram and TikTok, trainings on how to form an LLC. Again, there are zero restrictions on their content. And by the way, the program works. In just 2 months, our cohort has added a combined 6 million followers, that's not including me, and seen their views and engagement grow. That is the point of the program, to teach creators how to be effective with whatever messages they want to promote.
The messages, by the way.
People in New York prisons will be able to use their tablets and facility phones without charge starting August 1st. This move by Governor Kathy Hochul's administration makes New York the first state to mandate free prison calls through executive action.
Despite the Trump administration shutting down the national LGBTQ extension for young people in crisis, the state of Illinois is keeping its dedicated 988 lifeline up and running.
The results of this incubator program. Come on, man. Are we fucking for real? It's just people doing headlining reading and a tiny bit of stuff. It's really fucking stupid. Yeah, I don't like it's not the problem that it's like scripted. It is like, yeah, the problem is the fucking template. Like, it's fairly obvious that it's meant to be able to push a particular line. That's the issue here. Yeah, like, where's the analysis? Like, what? Like, why is this a good thing? Like, can we get into like some root cause, root basis? Like, we're just saying like, yeah, it's a good thing that this thing's happening. It's like, okay, well, why is it a good thing? Why is that a good thing? Why, like, can we have some opinion? Anything at all? It makes it look rather dry.
And with regard to keeping it a secret, there is a standard confidentiality clause in the contract to protect the privacy of the creators. On the literal first day of the program, it was made clear to all of the creators in our kickoff session that they were absolutely free to talk about Chorus. And we immediately followed up to confirm that in writing. Creators have videos about Chorus. They've got donation links to Chorus in their bios. I myself have made videos that were posted all over the internet about Chorus that reached hundreds of thousands of people. It is not a secret, and it never was. There's the implication in the article that this is some arm of the DNC, or the Democratic Party. We have literally nothing to do with the DNC. I spend 0 minutes of my day thinking about the DNC. The creators do not toe any party line. How could we? There isn't a party line.
Then why do you receive money specifically from the 1630 fund, which donates to left-leaning fucking initiatives that toe the Democratic Party line? Nothing about economic issues at all. Like that, none of that stuff's getting covered. It's all about social issues, which is what specifically gets covered. But it's a little interesting, right? Which means this is 1000% about towing the fucking Democratic Party line. 1000% it's all about that. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Creators are absolutely allowed to speak out against the Democrats, and in fact, plenty do. And frankly, Chorus creators should and do criticize Democrats when they suck, and quite often, they do suck. I've seen posts saying that this is APAC funded, which couldn't be further from the truth. I'd venture to guess that most Chorus creators, myself included on both YouTube and Substack.
Why are we bringing in what random people are fucking saying that this is APAC fucking funded? Does the 1630 fund get stuff from fucking APAC, which is your main contributor to this particular group that you are headlining and orchestrating here, Brian?
Have spoken out against the atrocities in Gaza. Lorenz says that the 1630 Fund is, quote, a powerful liberal dark money group. 1630 Fund is our fiscal sponsor. One of the largest documented donors to 1630 Fund is the same person funding Meteor's Reporters in Residence program, which Taylor Lorenz herself is a part of. And guess what her monthly stipend is? $8,000 per month. So she's criticizing an entity that is funded by someone that she is currently taking money from. I guess it's okay when Taylor Lorenz gets paid, but no one else.
Yes, but the problem is that Taylor Lorenz is not being stipulated by that particular stipend, who's giving that fucking stipend to her, to have particular fucking criticisms and not be able to push particular lines. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Again, why don't we take a look at, like, David Pakman's fucking content? Does he criticize the fucking Democratic Party? I'm curious.
Watch this guy Pakman, he's good.
Shut up, Howard Stern. I mean, it's a lot of Trump stuff. Trump stuff, Trump stuff, Trump stuff, Trump stuff. Trump stuff, Republican stuff, Trump stuff. This is, by the way, one of the biggest fucking guys. I'm seeing nothing besides shit about Trump. God, this is just like fucking dem slop content, dude. Like, Trump, 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 Trump. Damn, only 22K views? Damn, David, that fucking sucks, bro. Man, this is a little interesting. Like, what's going on here? I'm not seeing anything about criticisms of the Democratic Party here in particular. Brian, wait, what happened? Does Olivia Giuliana also have the same thing? That's a little interesting. I'm not seeing anyone fucking criticizing the Democrats here. I'm calling this claim a little suspicious. Now, could we find some of the other content creators maybe? Like, wait, what about Podjons? Do Podjons get this? What about I've Had It? Have they gone this money from Chorus in particular? Were they even contacted? Interesting.
The monthly stipend that we offer is so that creators can do this work full-time. We've had numerous creators in the cohort quit their jobs so they can focus on creating content full-time. That is what we want. I'm really proud that we can give creators that security for as long as they're in the program. We want people to create pro-democracy content full-time, and we want to make sure that they can afford to pay their rent and their bills while doing it. If I could have cohorts with 1,000 people in it so that everybody could be part of the program, I would. For everybody saying that they would like to be part of the next cohort, we would love for you to apply. That's our whole goal. It's to build up an army of pro-democracy content creators who can speak authentically about the issues that they care about and be able to...
I'm so curious. What do we mean by pro-fucking-democracy content creators? Like, again, the problem with the argument that the Democrats are being pro-democracy, the reason why that argument in particular rings rather hollow is because of the fact that during the 2024 primary, there was effectively no process, there was no debates, it was just automatically assumed that Joe Biden was going to breeze in, and we know why that's the case. There was no debates or anything whatsoever, because Biden's brain was leaking out of his fucking ears and he was incapable of speaking. There was no speaking engagements with Biden. Literally nothing happened during the fucking Democratic primary. It was just assumed that Biden was going to automatically win. Despite the fact that people were advocating, saying like, hey, maybe we should have some debates. Talk with this about this. Biden was also the same guy who said he was going to be one-term fucking president. And you guys want to claim to be the ones who are the main stewards of fucking democracy? I don't know about that one. Yet the primary process was effectively snubbed by the DNC? I don't know about that one. It seems like this is a thing that rings rather fucking hollow, and that's the problem people had with it.
To do it as effectively as possible. I should note that while I started this program, I have never and will never get paid. I do this 100% as a volunteer. I have never earned a dime from Chorus, and I never will. I want every dollar that we raise to go to creators so that they can do this important work without spending 8 hours a day working at some different job. I've been saying for years that the left needs to build up its creator space.
Like fucking David Pakman, who is a YouTube channel with about 3 million fucking subscribers, or like Olivia Juliana, who's also a headline like DNC fucking influencer. Or you mean like the smaller fry people that your group was only willing to pay about $250 a month for? Sure, man.
That has never been more true than it is right now. Influencers and creators have never been more important when it comes to how Americans are consuming their news. The left is a decade behind right now. We desperately need incubators teaching and amplifying new content creators, and not just Chorus, by the way. There are other programs in this.
Well, the problem is it's using the exact same tactics as the dark money Republican groups. Again, if the dark money Republican groups have it such that people do not push a particular party line, they get cut immediately. It's over. The problem is the reason why, like I said before, this works in conservative spaces and not so much in more liberal, left-leaning spaces, because conservatives are wholeheartedly incapable of critical thought. That is why it is more effective when conservatives do it, and they've been doing it for longer. Yes, I don't disagree with that. But the reason why it's as effective as it is, specifically starting around fucking Gamergate with Steve Bannon helping foster this particular environment, the reason why it's more effective there is because conservatives just want they slop. They don't give a fuck about anything else, only just what they want to hear. They don't critically engage or think about anything. Exactly, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, critical thought, subjectivity, empathy, and understanding how things work. Conservatives are anathema to these particular concepts. They do not agree with these particular concepts. However, liberals and left-leaning people, depending on which ones you talk about, are able to understand these concepts more so and engage with these concepts more when they think about and engage with particular media. Because again, if you look at this video like this, you can tell that this seems rather scripted. It's uninteresting. There's no analyses that's going on in here. It's just a bunch of people who are, influencers just doing headline readings. They're not sharing any of their thoughts, their critical opinions, their beliefs when they are just reading some fucking headlines. That is the issue.
Space doing the same thing. I want all of them to succeed. We need all of them to succeed. There are people like Taylor Lorenz who are desperate to tear the left apart, and in fact, it becomes clear who her efforts help when you hear stuff like this.
Genuinely, I kind of like Taylor Lorenz because I know that she actually believes what she says. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I generally...
This seems rather out of context from Brian here. Why did Candace Owens say that in particular? I would like some context here, because we all know that Candace Owens lies about as much as she fucking breathes. Why does she like some of the stuff from fucking Taylor Lorenz? Is it because of Israel-Palestine stuff? Is it because of other... Because it's not because of general left-wing populism and progressivism. Candace doesn't believe in any of that stuff. The only avenue that I can see them having any rapport in is specifically in Israel fucking Palestine. However, the only reason why Candace Owens is anti-Zionist is purely due to the fact that she's an anti-Semite. And it's very interesting that he also included the bit where Tucker Carlson said, like, I don't agree with that whatsoever. It's just like, that's a little interesting. Yeah, like, I don't know, is Tyler Cohen doing a little bit of fucking horseshoe theory centrism memery over here? Complete fucking nonsense.
Don't align myself with friends of Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. I continue to believe that the left needs...
Neither does Taylor Lorenz. She does not agree with Candace Owens or fucking Tucker Carlson. Nonsense.
Massive investments into the independent media space. I'm really proud of the program that we've built. I'm really proud that we've allowed creators to do this work full time. I'm really proud of the independence that they have to say whatever they want to say in whatever way they want to say it. I'm really proud that our creators are seeing their channels and their pages grow. My goal is to see an army emerge from the left to take on what's happening on the right. Taylor Lorenz and Republicans don't want to see it, but we do. If you also want to get in the fight, apply to the program at wearechorus.com.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, fuck that shit, dude. This is some fucking dark money fucking bullshit. It's the exact same shit as the fucking Republican Party is doing. But again, as I said before, the root basis and root cause for as to why it's effective on conservatives in particular is because they are not capable of engaging in critical thought. They just want their fucking slop. That's it. They just want they sloppy. They just want they toppy. They just want to get fed what they want to hear. That doesn't happen so much with fucking liberals. They engage more with critical, subjective thought. They want to have some form of analysis, which is why left-leaning people have been as popular as they have been, have emerged more and more so. That is the real fucking cause for all of this. But, and, like, you know, all this, like, throwing into the wind about Wired specifically, about what Taylor Lorenz has said, she has consistently said in the fucking article itself that these have been things reviewed by Wired themselves. Consistently within the article, saying, like, this has been reviewed by Wired. This Zoom call, these contracts that we acquired, these statements have been also reviewed by Wired. She has been consistently saying that this has been reviewed by the publication, and they okayed it. If you think that this would not be okay, that what is being said here is wrong or a lie, then why was this approved by the editors at Wired? You would think that they would not be. That's a little suspicious, isn't it? I'm sensing some incongruency here. Very, very cool. But what do we have here from David Pakman?
Is not even going to talk about this because I hate participating in the drama. I hate the circular firing squad that often builds on the left. But it's really important that my audience know what's going on, so I am going to talk about it. I was named in an article in Wired yesterday, and the article is about a so-called dark money group on the left called Chorus. And I'm named in the article along with other creators as being part of the group. And since this article came out, I've heard from a bunch of you. David, did you sell out? David, is the DNC telling you what to say? How could you do this to us? I knew back in 2021 when you had the...
So far, this is a very similar line to what Brian Tyler Cohen has been pushing. Interesting.
following to say that you must have been getting paid by someone and here's the proof. And
I mean, to be fair, like, David Pakman does quite literally just push the fucking Democratic Party line. He just, I used to watch David Pakman. He had some, like, pretty decent, like, it was liberal analysis, of course, but it was, like, he would actually talk about particular topics and provide some kind of analysis. But, again, it's just Trump slop. It's just fucking slop. Like, look, nothing but fucking Trump. Nothing but Trump. Well, there's Olivia Juliana. Interesting. Just Trump Republican sloppy. Very, very sloppy. Just a hardcore focus only on Trump specifically. Interesting. Which is why I just, like, stopped watching him. I just got fucking bored of him. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, like, you hate Trump. Like, where's the actual, like, interesting content and potential analysis? It's nonsense.
I was not even going to give this the time of day, but my relationship with you, my actual audience, is the most important thing. And so I decided to do this segment. I also was told that other creators, like a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker, were covering this in ways that...
Oh, David, don't fuck. You know who Hassan is. You used to be fucking buddies with him. A Twitch creator named Hassan Piker. Nah. You guys used to have rapport and be buddies with one another. You just decided to go ahead with a particular line of content and just more or less not have any contact anymore with Hassan because you just wanted to do fucking Demslop content, which Hassan does not really engage with at all. So that's cool. Oh yeah, he did call the creators Hamas for the PCRF fundraisers. He did do that, didn't he? There was also his like Bolivia takes, which were also just really, really bad.
That don't reflect the reality of the situation and are perpetuating falsehoods about what is and isn't going on. Now, I can't speak to the motives of the people that wrote the article or those that are reacting to it. I can't get in their heads. All I can do is tell you what's going on, and then you can judge and you can make an assessment of me. Now, I also want to mention, I'm aware that many of the people I'm hearing of aren't even part of my audience. They're doing the, well, now I'm unsubscribing, and they mostly were never subscribed, and so I'm aware of that, but it doesn't matter because I want to make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. It's for years.
Trying to do the exact same fucking tactics as the Republican fucking party. Again, I've already mentioned ad infinitum at this point what the fucking problem is with this shit. It is a dark money group that is telling you to go ahead with a particular party line. This is not foster independent media. It is about creating propagandists, similar to what the Republican Party has done. This is the main issue with Chorus in particular and why it is a dark money group.
Years I've been saying the left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The left needs to fund independent creators.
Again, the problem is that the Democrats are not the left. Calling them the left, this is an inherent problem with what these fucking liberals in particular think. They think that a conservative party such as the Democrats are on the left. Just because they are to the left of the Republican Party does not mean they are on the left. They are to the left of the Republicans, but a little bit to the left. Any fucking stretch of the imagination. You can ask your fucking average Canadian about this shit. They will all agree and say like, oh, the Democrats, they are a fucking conservative party. You ask Europeans about this, they would say that the Democrats are just a conservative party and that the Republicans are just far-right nutters. Nonsense, dude. Like, so don't fucking claim the moniker of the left for the Democrats. They are not on the left. Why do you think, like, again, if they're on the left, David, why is the Democratic establishment trying to do everything possible in order to try to snub an insurgent, more left-leaning campaign in Zoran Mamdani and Omar Fateh in both Minneapolis and New York, David? Why are they doing that? If they're a left-leaning party, if they are on the left, they should be agreeing with those positions and be pushing for those candidates because guess what? They're Democrats, but they just happen to be further to the left in comparison to what the Democratic Party is comfortable with. Because again, like I've said before, for the Democrats, they just want to have the exact same conservative donors and money coming into their campaigns as the fucking Republican Party. That's why.
Creators, the way that the right does. The right has won even arguably presidential elections because they're organized with regard to online and independent media. They're killing us. We've been so behind. And this kind of support for creators is exactly what I've been advocating for. Now, the article is riddled with inaccuracies, and they're not minor inaccuracies. First and foremost, this group has nothing to do with the DNC. People writing saying, the Democratic Party is telling people what to say. At its base...
All right, we just read the article. Let's just control F, DNC. The only time when DNC fucking appears is talking about a fucking meme account, David. Okay, let's do Democrat. Sure, Democrat. Start from the beginning. Boosting Democrats online. Profile Democratic influencers. Okay. Democratic political influencers. Okay. Bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet. So that's bolstering Democratic messaging. Okay. influencers, at least 13 million followers, posting in support of Democrats. Okay, well, these are talking about the content creators being supportive of Democrats. Now, Democrats hope that the secretive Chorus Creator Incubator Group, funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund, might tip the scales. This is not alleging any association between Chorus and the Democrats. This is a sentence saying that the Democrats are hoping for that. She's not saying that there's any association being alleged here. And I'm also including this for you there, Brian. But that's cool. Democratic National Convention. Occupy Democrats is the name of a fucking program. Democratic content creator who's skyrocketed to fame. This is Keith Edwards, who is saying that he has a problem fundamentally with Chorus in particular. So some of these pro-democratic content creators have a problem with that. Very, very cool. And the main reason, again, is Dean Withers in this? We don't know. I have no idea. It does not specify Dean Withers. Again, the reason why people are saying that there may be associations with the fucking Democrats politician is because of this. If you want to work with a politician, I have to fully collaborate with them, said one creator who was offered the contract but ultimately declined to take it. If I get Zoran and he wants to do an interview with me, I don't want to give that to them. This is the main problem for as to why people are saying and speculating that the DNC may have something to do with this. First off, liberal dark money group that gives support to the fucking Democrats. And also, another issue is the fact that Chorus itself stipulates and says that if you do any organized content with us in particular, because the point of this group is that they get the fucking Democratic politicians and Democratic state legislator people as well in for interviews with these content creators. And Chorus is the middleman that organizes all of this. And they have a bunch of different stipulations, which is why people are coming up with the potential suspicions that they are associated with the DNC, despite the fact there is no evidence to say as that. It is correct to have those suspicions. I think it is an accurate statement, especially considering the fact that one of their main fiscal backers is, well, the 1630 Fund. There is no point in this article where Taylor Lorenz stipulates that the DNC is supporting Chorus. None at all. This is a conspiracy theory ginned up by both yourself and Brian.
The group has nothing to do with the DNC, period. Number two, I do not...
Good thing that argument was never made.
...get clearance for anything I say. I do not run interview questions by anyone at Chorus. I don't tell Chorus when I'm going to be doing an interview. Not a single segment I have done.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't have any Chorus, run events, David. Or not that I know of, right? Let me double check. Okay, listen. Where's that Olivia Giuliana video? Let's see. Where is it? Was that run by Chorus? I'm curious. Let's just take a look at the description. I'm curious. Let me take a look.
All right, well.
Become a member, subscribe. Get David's book, his tech, socials. Doesn't say anything here about Chorus. Because you haven't done fucking anything with Chorus. That's why. I don't know why you're bringing up this point then, David.
None. Not a single question I've ever asked a guest has anything to do with Chorus. They don't tell me what to talk about. They don't tell me who to interview. They don't tell me how to cover a story.
Like I said before, if it's Chorus-run events, then you have to run it by them. That's why. Now, are people coming up with this potential sort of conspiracy theory in order to explain some behavior? Maybe. I don't deny that whatsoever, right? There can definitely be a bunch of left-leaning sort of conspiracy peddlers and whatnot. They'll certainly exist. But in this particular instance, no one is really saying or pointing out the fact within Taylor's article, because he's mostly talking about within fucking Taylor's article, and people have their own interpretations and are asking David Pakman about this. Within her article itself, it mentions absolutely nothing about Chorus having any association with the Democrats or the Democratic Party. This is a deflection.
Story. There are no restrictions of any kind on my content. I've never covered a story because Chorus suggested I do it. I've never not covered a story because Chorus suggested I not do it. There is no content relationship of any kind. So what does Chorus do? They run technical trainings, how to produce content, how to make your operation more efficient, how do you take a small shop of 1, 2, or 3 people and put content out on multiple platforms the way I've been doing successfully for decades. They set up mentorship relationships between larger creators like me and small up-and-coming creators who are looking to do content, which is something I've said for years we need to be doing. They do advocacy trainings. They do media trainings. How do you...
Yeah, exactly, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, no content relationship. You have to prove it. Taylor Lorenz has some proof. She has quite literally reached out to content creators and has gotten testimonies from them. That's proof. Like, come on. He is kind of contradicting himself here. Exactly. Like, him bringing up what Chorus does it's irrelevant overall to the point.
You deal with adversarial media, reporters with bad intentions who contact you. They do legal training so we understand how is the right-wing machine potentially going to come after us. How do you organize your business to be protected? That's what they do. And I want to make this really clear, and I know that 99% of my actual audience knows this. If this was a group or an organization that required me to get permission before saying things, or fed me talking points, or told me, David, talk about this and not about that, or anything like that, I would never be part of it, period. Anyone who knows me would know that.
This, so far, this is just a complete fucking deflection, right? Like, this is not relevant to what is being said here within the fucking article. Let's, like, where's David Pakman? Here's David Pakman, right? Influencers included in communication. This is the only mention of fucking David Pakman, right? Jazz Jennings, David Pakman, who hosts a progressive independent show covering news and politics. Influencers included in communication about the program, right? This is a little interesting. This is not Taylor saying that you were a part of the program. This is saying that you were included in a communication about the program, and in some cases an onboarding session for receiving those payments from the 1630 fund. I don't think this is Taylor saying that you're a part of Chorus. Nonsense. Nonsense.
Now, I'm one of the larger creators in the current cohort. I want to help others grow. I want to mentor people.
Oh, so you're a part of the cohort. So you accept the contract. But that's a little interesting.
Grow the left media space. That's something I've been advocating for years. And now the circular firing squad is getting going. You look at TikTok, you look at these different platforms, people going after each other, most of it based on misunderstandings or misreporting about what's happening. Now, let me go to another aspect of this. I've seen messages like, oh, David, when you said X in 2024, that must have been because they told you to. Oh, David, this explains your take on Bolivia from 2017. Now I get why you said that. Or when you did that interview in 2022.
This is deflection, by the way. Like, this is completely and utterly irrelevant to the main criticisms that Taylor Lorenz is raising within this article. This is irrelevant. Who cares about whatever anecdote that you got from, I don't know, some, like, stupid pit crew avatar, like, dipshit lefty from, like, 2020.
It must have been because Chorus told you to. Even if you wrongly believed that I was now completely compromised by my participation in this group, this thing is brand new. It's like 8 weeks old or something like that, maybe 10 weeks old, something like this. So the revisionism of going back and going, now I understand why David. Not only are they not directing content today, this thing is brand new, so that's just like impossible.
Like,
one other thing I want to mention. The article identifies my friend Brian Tyler Cohen as the co-founder of this group. And now he's being attacked as well. His motives being impugned. Brian worked on this as a volunteer. He has spent hundreds of hours for not a penny on this project, solely because he, like me, believes we need this type of organization on the left. They're killing us on the right. He doesn't need to be doing this for...
I've already talked about before why you do not need an organization like this. It is a fundamental problem with the engagement that they are trying to foster. They want blue MAGA types. They do not want people who are well informed in politics, people who are capable of critical thought or thinking. The reason, again, why this is effective, in particular with conservatives, is because conservatives themselves are incapable of critical thought, incapable of empathy, subjectivity, and all of the associated things that are more associated with liberals. The reason why liberals are going to be more apprehensive of stuff like this, in particular, is because they see that, well, this is a little weird. I feel like there's some particular agenda that's being pushed here. Now, obviously, this is not going to be the case for everybody, right? Like, there's a lot more conservative people out there within the sort of like broader, like liberal sort of tent or whatever. The blue MAGA types is mostly what I'm mentioning here. The problem, fundamentally speaking, is that they are trying to use the exact same tactics and the exact same kind of ways that conservatives fostered their fucking media environment. And it's not going to be as effective on the fucking left. It just simply won't be, because left-leaning people are more capable of critical thought.
For himself, he's trying to do this to build up left-wing content creators, as am I. And so the framing of Brian as some kind of villain in this entire thing, it's just farcical and pathetic. So the bottom line is, we need more of this on the left, not less. We need more organization and infrastructure and people understanding, how do you build a content machine? How do you...
Bro, we need more dark money groups and fracking billionaires and all these like different representations of corporations in order to come into our independent media space. David, I hope you know this, but the reason why the independent media space is as successful as it is because it builds something called trust. Something which capitalism is anathema to. Corporations are anathema to the concepts of trust. That is why people believe in their independent content creators, because they trust them to give them unfiltered opinions and give them positions and takes that they know are coming from the heart of those people. That is why people are criticizing the actions of Chorus in particular. That is 1,000%, 1,000,000% the reason why stuff like this should be actively shunned.
Produce a podcast? How do you grow an audience? How do you distribute it? How do you organize your day? What's your YouTube setup like? The article is designed to attack and degrade. I can't speak to the motives of the people behind it, so I won't even speculate. My involvement is as I've described it here. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's up to you to decide whether you trust a particular creator. It's up to you to decide what sort of structural organization the left should pursue. But what I can tell you is that the circular firing squad is how the left loses, when we start turning each other over what at the end of the day. So
I don't think there's really much else to say besides this is complete, utter deflection. It has no relevance at all to the main points that are brought up within the article itself. Nonsense. But we've had a lot of, like, liberals. They are getting mad about it. You know, like, our Hutches of the world. Here's Hutch. Listen, in my fucking video, specifically talking about Hutch, his purpose is rather fucking simple. He's meant to be a stopgap to radical progressive thought and movements. That's really about it. It's complete, utter fucking nonsense. Well, what is even here from Hutch? I have to shit on him real quick. If Chorus was demanding secrecy, why do they describe on their website what the program is including? The fact that they provide stipends alongside pics of creators in the cohort. Hey, you might want to talk about Kat Abugazela, who was on there, and also V. Sephar, who was also on there without their fucking permission. Very interesting. Why do you see so many receipts of creators publicly talking about Chorus? Very, very interesting. Buddy, like, you're just going to believe the fact that the dark money group just fucking put a little blurb there, and you're just going to take that with, like, no critical belief or thought at all whatsoever? Again, Hutch, your only purpose is to just act as a stopgap against further radical fucking movements. With your, whatever your radical, like, pragmatism is, or whatever bumblefuck oxymoronic bullshit that you fucking believe in. Complete, utter fucking nonsense. But yeah, Chorus complained, and Wire still didn't issue a correction. That says it all. Reporting like this requires extensive due diligence. That's a very, very good point there by Emma Vigland. Why? Again, if we're complaining about this, and it's just not accurate whatsoever, as all these motherfuckers are saying within the article itself. We can even fucking look this up. We could do, like, listen, I've been doing a lot of controlled effing. The contracts reviewed by Wired prohibit standard partnership disclosures. Hey, I wonder why Taylor Lorenz is writing this in fucking particular. David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen, Aaron Parnas. Why would she fucking say this? Again, Taylor Lorenz isn't under Wired. She's an independent journalist. If she is writing an article like this, well, let's be honest here, their editors are going to comb through all of the evidence that Taylor Lorenz has gathered in order to, whoa, crazy, corroborate all of the claims that she is making. Zoom call reviewed by Wired. Why would Wired be reviewing this then? If everything here is being bullshit in terms of the evidence that Taylor Lorenz is presenting. Chorus, which is described in contracts, reviewed by Wired. She even acquired some of the fucking contracts by some of the content creators who declined and decided to give those fucking contracts to Taylor when she interviewed them. Interesting. And again, contracts reviewed by Wired. Again, why would Wired be fucking issuing or be having to fucking review these and approving these particular statements? Because the editors would have had to approve this. David and Aaron, all these fucking liberals that are talking about this, again, like I said before, this is a deflection. They are mad about the fact that they got fucking exposed. And dipshits like Hutch, who seemingly are incapable of fucking critical thought, just go along with like, oh, Chorus is doing, like, this is like complete fake news here by Taylor Lorenz. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. I'm not fucking buying it, bro. But, honestly, like, what has Taylor even been saying here? Similar statements creators are putting out on our story. Very, very interesting. It's so fucking wild that these the fucking liberals are just getting mad and fucking salty about it. Like, dude, if anything was wrong in this fucking article, there would have been fucking retractions. The only thing I've seen, so this is like from an archive, because I can't fucking see the article itself. Like, following this article, this is the only update that's been put in. Following the publication of this article, Graham Wilson of Elias Law Group, whose participation in a Zoom call was reported on and who did not respond to Wired's pre-publication email requesting for comment, reached out to Wired on several points. These include whether members of the cohort can publicly talk about with Chorus and Chorus's connection to Good Influence, both of which Wired had clarified. I wonder why this update is here then, if they're not willing to edit and corroborate a lot of the stuff on here. It's almost as if the stuff that was reviewed by Wired was approved by Wired. Interesting. And it's almost as if this shit's not a fucking troll. Why would the editors fucking approve any of this stuff and allow it to be posted? Complete, utter fucking nonsense. So I think we can come to a fucking conclusion, and that is liberals are fucking coping and seething about the fact that their fucking dark money group, known as Chorus, got fucking exposed for pushing a Democratic fucking party line. That's what it is. And that Chorus is meant to act as a middleman, a consultancy group, which the Democrats so love so much, more than anything in the fucking world, to basically be a middleman, to have particular levels of power and control to stipulate what these content creators and influencers are allowed to ask and engage with during particular Chorus run events. Because like I said before, with stuff like Chorus, its purpose is to try to connect people to, basically people within power and also foster content creators. It is no different than a fucking talent agency like, say, fucking VShojo or Hololive or Face Connect, right? That's their fucking purpose. And it runs in terms of, how it is supposed to work as a talent agency, exactly similarly to this. So spare me all this fucking nonsense and copium huffing when all the people who are getting called out in this post, are not really engaging with what is being said in the article and would prefer to fucking deflect from the fact that the purpose of this group is to act as a fucking middleman and to go ahead to push with the Democratic fucking party line. Why do you think the 1630 Fund would even approve of giving money to them to begin with? Complete, utter fucking nonsense. I don't think there's really much else to say besides this is a fucking liberal dark money group and they just do not give a fuck at all about the independent thought and processes that go specifically into why independent content creators are as successful as they are. Because it's about one thing fundamentally, and that is trust.